strange things done in midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of the Lake Labarge, I cremated Sam McGee. Well, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way, he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold. Through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our lids would close and the lashes froze, sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tied in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed, and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe. Sam turns to me, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you don't refuse this last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, and he said with a sort of a moan, "It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold. I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet it tain't being dead. It's the awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. As we started on at the streak of dawn, but oh, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. Before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried, horror-driven, with this corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promise true, it's up to you to cremate these last remains." Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. As the days wore on, though my lips were dumb, in my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long nights by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed the thing. And day after day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad that I swore I would not give in. I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, and I thought of it. I looked at my frozen chum. "Here," says I, with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around and heaped the fuel higher. The furnace roared and the flames just soared. Such a blaze you seldom see. I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled and the huskies growled and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks. I don't know why. The jet black smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear. But the stars came out, danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread. I bravely said, I'll just take a peek inside. I guess he's cooked. And it's time I looked. And the door, I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, please, close that door. I'm fine in here, but I greatly fear you will let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm.